Hello, Indra. How are you?
Thanks very much. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. Thank you. Welcome to this author interview for the How to Be a Six-Star Business book. I'm really excited to be talking to you today, and the purpose of this conversation is obviously to get to know you a bit better, so that people who have bought the book and have read your chapter can get to know you. And to get started, I thought it might be a good idea if you could just share with us or with me, I guess, who you are, where you are in the world, who you serve, and maybe something you like to do outside of your work.
Okay, I'll go with the easy one. My name is Endre Hoffmann. I'm in Sydney, New South Wales in Australia. I've lived here for 8 years, and I love paragliding when I'm not in lockdown. And I'm helping people to reconnect to their self-worth. And I believe all of us are creators, like really small children, and things has happened to us, and then most people come to me because they've forgotten who they are. So my table or expertise is about the mind and find these kind of blocks, limiting beliefs and patterns that have been created through decades, and people just don't know that they are repeating these patterns. So it's around self-worth, communication, and sometimes it's business. And I help them to find these patterns really fast and release them so they can just become their six-star version. It's exciting.
I love that. I really love that. And tell me, so what's your chapter about specifically?
Yeah, my chapter is about how you could become a six-star version of yourself, or how you could tap into your own best version of self, which would really allow that self to project into your business. Or see, I believe, and this is the big one for most people, they don't realize that your business is a projection of your own mind. And every experience that you have in life is teaching you about yourself. And of course, my chapter is expanding on this idea. And of course, my first brain dump went too long. So I had to take away a lot to just give you a little bit of uh, seeds of those transformations that could take you a long way into the vision that you, I hope, set yourself.
That sounds so huge, really. It's like from a personal perspective and a business perspective, it sounds like what you are sharing here is gold for anybody. It's something that anybody can benefit from and learn from and grow from. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I believe like the outside world is really an extension of your own self. So things get created from the inside, and there's a lot of spiritual literature around this. And we heard this from so many sources, but to put this into practice and really learn or help you learn about yourself and find your own limitation is a really difficult task, because we are so much into around frame of reference, but we don't really see how we hold ourselves back from achieving what we want.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so true. So, what would be one aha or an action step that a reader could take away from your chapter?
I will give you something that I have not expanded in the chapter, but overall, my chapter really gives you this idea. And this is it. If you look at your business or your life and you see results that you don't like, or you had an idea about what you want, then that's the printout of your programming. So it's an indirect way of finding out where you have your own limitations in your mind or around
Yep.
yourself, and that just projected on the outside. So you could learn about yourself through your business or through areas of life that you probably avoid, I have to say.
You're right, and I think everybody would be, and I won't say, I'm trying to think of another word than guilty, but I think we can all relate to that and apply that. And yeah, that's awesome. How did you feel when you were writing your chapter?
I was absolutely excited because I believe in this world now, there are a lot of therapies out there and so-called personal development programs that are promoting the same results of transformations. And I believe they are not going deep enough, or they are not able to access this kind of subconscious programming that we seem to run by. 95% of our life is really running on autopilot. And even traditional psychology, it takes so long to get some kind of results with those therapies that I think this is absolutely a new age and a new accelerated transformation program that I'm bringing in, and also that my mentors have been teaching here in Australia. So I'm very excited, and I hope more and more people will realize that they will not need to suffer. There is a way to change that self-image or identity, and of course that identity will bring different results in life and business.
Yep. Yeah. That's very, very powerful. And I love hearing that how excited you were, because when you know that you've got this gift to give the world, then it's evidenced by the level of that internal emotion and excitement that you've got as you're creating that gift. So that's exciting for me to hear. I've got another question for you, just to get to know a bit about you and your past, the journey that you've been on to get to this point in your life. And that question is, what would be the biggest gift that you've been given on your journey to get to where you are now?
Biggest gift. Wow. I have probably my first 40 years of feeling worthless, not good enough, and not feeling up to my life purpose, or actually figuring out why I'm here for. Because now my life is making sense. But for this to happen, I needed a lot of pain and a lot of suffering to go through, where as a child with my father, I experienced a lot of rejection, or let's say he wasn't the best father for me at the time. And that started a whole long patterns of not being good enough, and that played out in every area of life. And now, looking back, this is a gift where I am able to connect with other people, and there is millions out there who are holding themselves back by these, I call mind viruses, because pretty much they are mind viruses. And there is an easy few session format where we can do that surgery to remove them.
Yep. Yeah. It's certainly a gift, isn't it? And I love how you've been able to turn almost a lifetime of pain into your biggest gift.
Yeah, I believe this is life-changing, what I've got together, and people just live their life normally, not knowing this. And as long as people live in their life in this, I call this quadrant of not knowing what's holding me back, in this kind of unawareness, there is no way they are able to move on or progress or resolve it. And I believe that's one of my biggest gifts. I'm able to point out fairly
Yeah.
fast, within half an hour, the major holding patterns that one is kind of running, not knowing, and then create a plan and shift it.
That's great. Um, I'm keen to know what would you think is the most important skill that you've developed along your journey?
A biggest skill. I I believe it's slowly added up. I studied the mind for about 15 years. I didn't know the mind has the answers, so I've been traveling around looking for answers in different countries and gurus, and started businesses and failed in every place. So slowly I gathered a lot of information, but my real breakthrough came from working a specialist like myself now, a subconscious mind specialist who is able to pick up on these sabotage patterns and now able to turn them around and empower someone to really have their life back or have their original self back, and that will just explode into all areas of life. This is why I'm so excited.
That is super exciting, and what an amazing skill to have, to be able to share that and use that in the world. I see it as a gift, really. So I've got a couple more questions. What would you say, Indra, has been your greatest challenge on your journey?
My greatest challenge was to move past this 40 years. I thought, this is me. There's no way to resolve my own problems with myself and to find my own self-worth. And I basically have never given up. And I almost ruined my family. I have major challenges with my children. I almost become the father who I did not like or did not love because of this pattern of he wasn't present for me and I was not present for my children, and that was so painful. I believe that has brought me this turning point where my wife asked me whether we should just divorce because she can't handle me overworking myself, going all these seminars and books and personal development and basically making no progress whatsoever, not able to make more money, and I just become this absolute victim. And I've seen a lot of business owners who are in a similar situation where they just don't know why they have these lack of results in certain things that they are focusing on. And this is the biggest gift, I believe, when someone gets his or her new version who is not in his head. The battleground in the head is just becomes peace, and that peace is creating this beautiful creativity, and from creativity flows life and also new results. And I see a lot of reconnecting people to life purpose, and when someone gets connected to life purpose, there's no more struggle. Things start to unfold. I'm not saying you will not need to take uncomfortable action, because that's, I believe, is a requirement, but the universe starts to work with you. You start to be in harmony with yourself. When that happens, it's magic.
I love what you said about connecting in with your life purpose, and then the last part about being in harmony with yourself. And I was thinking that as you were sharing your journey, and I thought, yeah, because when you figured out the life purpose and you connected in with that, then everything made sense and became easy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Although it was not a snap
Instant.
of a finger, it was a process, and it was a
Yeah.
very painful process to go through, and a lot of dead end roads. And I believe my main message is that what if you don't have to travel 62 countries? What if you don't have to ruin your marriage? What if you could shortcut that struggle and pain and frustration to actually do that transformation a lot faster and learn? Because what I do, I accelerate your learnings about yourself, so you save a lot of time. And I believe if our life is time, and to my best knowledge, that's what it is basically, then why would you waste 5, 10, 15 years if you don't have to?
Totally. And yeah, there's so many pieces of gold in what you've just said. I want to ask you now about Six Star and bring it back to the whole point of the book. So what does Six Star mean to you?
A 6-star is really resonating with me, because when I heard this and I knew that someone is coming out with this, I knew I want to be part of this, because what I see out there is a lot of 2, 3, 4-star businesses who are not aware of how they could take it to a 5 or 6-star level. And again, it's about acceleration. And to me, it's more. It's about gaining consciousness, taking consciousness to a higher level where businesses really start to serve, not sell, where it's about what really matters, to connect with the customers or clients, even if they are businesses, and give them what they need. And if it takes you 5 times more, do it that way. But if you can't deliver results, I would say give the money back, because it's about exchanging value for value. And I think that's the biggest pain point out there now. There's a lot of businesses, they are just making money. And I believe that will have to be changed sooner or later.
Yeah. I can't agree more, Andrew. I think, that's one of the reasons why Pete and I took on this project, and just allowed that spark of magic to unfold in this book after we started the podcast and the community, because of exactly what you just said. And I love that it resonates with you. These questions haven't been given to you prior to this chat. This is a completely organic conversation. And yeah, I've just loved hearing your answers, getting to know you better. And I hope that our listeners, our book readers, have really enjoyed this talk as well. So thank you for your time, Endre. It's been amazing. And I'm really grateful to have you as one of our co-authors of the book. And thank you for being such a 6-star person.
I'm honored to become an author in this wonderful adventure with you, and also helping you with that book to take it to 6-star level.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
No worries.